Oh shit.
All right, we're live. I don't know if the first thing you heard was Axel saying "oh shit," but that's where we're at right now. Kind of throwing this together for you guys last minute. Um,
Uh, my bad.
no,
I was just looking at the questions. I didn't
oh,
realize we had a list.
yeah, I've got two lists. So, hey, what's up, chat? Everyone here. Yeah, we've got two lists. One curated by Celtic Spear from his community, and then one that was kind of curated from the Mecha BREAK Discord. I think mostly by user Ashtia, I think is the name. So yeah, we've got a bunch of questions. Hey, what's up, Jacoby and Blackard and Black, Slothmageddon? Nice to have all you here. I don't know if you've probably have questions from your comments on your video. I know I had a lot, which um, I answered a lot of the same ones many times.
Yeah. It's a little hard to. I'm pretty busy, but it's it's a little hard to remember which ones I've answered on the Discord and which one that I still need to answer on the
Yeah,
videos.
it's all right. We'll try and get through these lists, and definitely you all in chat, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I mean, if y'all are like spamming a whole lot, it might take us a minute to get to them. But I guess I rudely forgot to introduce the guest here on my stream. So, Axolotl, you can go ahead and give yourself an introduction if you want.
Oh, I don't really have a business rundown of what I do. I just mostly make mecha videos for fun. I like a lot of food too, and I was thinking about doing some stuff, but most of the time I was a Gundam Evolution YouTuber, and I did a lot of stuff for that. I did a website actually. I built a database website for Gundam Evolution, but eventually all things come to an end, and Gundam Evolution failed. But one of the things that I got from that was, well, a lot of wealth and experience dealing with like the failure of a game, and I got to see in real time how Rome fell. So I'm trying to give as much, I guess, advice that I can, learning from that experience to other communities, because I kind of want to see this game succeed. Mecha Break. I know the monetization model is like up in the air right now, but I really want them to learn from G-Evil's mistakes, and that's why I'm here, bro. I'm here to support them in whatever way they can.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know. I've played a lot of MMOs for like most of my gaming career, and I've seen that happen to a lot of MMOs, and just kind of made them unfun and unplayable in some ways. So, um, I love mecha games too. Always been an Armored Core fan, um, but I'm happy to try this game. It's super fun. I just hope it's monetized more like more like the games that I enjoy playing. So anyway, it looks like Shadow Ghost is in the chat and asking, will it have crossplay and cross save? That is something that I cannot answer. I don't know, Axel, if you know anything about that, but I don't.
So I mean, we can speculate, or we can just say what we know, which is we don't fucking know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I didn't see anything in the promotional material that suggests crossplay. We don't do know it'll be on console. There should be controller support for PC, but um,
Did you try playing with a controller? You have
no.
one?
I asked because I wanted to, just to test it
Yeah.
for the community. I
Uh-huh.
prefer keyboard and mouse myself, but
Oh,
I
me too.
wanted to test it, and they said it wasn't ready yet. So
Oh yeah, that's fair. Um, I think though, let's be honest, if they're gonna do crossplay, that'll be really interesting, because I don't know how the balance between all that would work out between the manual aiming, because remember playing sniper units, you can manual aim, and it's really powerful because you can kind of skip all that lock on time, right? How would they would balance that between a controller and a fucking mouse and keyboard?
Yeah, I don't know. It would be hard. I mean, that's kind of the reason like Armored Core 6 isn't crossplay, right? Just because of the camera functionality and what you can get with a mouse and like the DPI settings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Oh wait, I thought that was because From Software didn't want to pay for the PS4 like crossplay agreement because it's quite hefty. It's like
oh,
30 something percent, something like that for crossplay games.
yeah, that
Revenue given.
that may have been. I wasn't tuned into like that aspect of the business side, but I remember like speculating about the game before it came out, and then when it wasn't crossplay, I was not at all surprised because the keyboard and mouse, like I've played it on both, and the keyboard mouse is just better.
Is it better?
Yeah, I think it is, but I'm a keyboard mouse gamer, so it could be subjective. Uh, anyway, oh, you got a question in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah, Jacoby is asking how you think this game feels compared to Gundam Evolution.
so Gundam Evolution is a really different game. It's more like it's FPS, it's Overwatch clone, whatever, right? I think this game is probably more towards the third-person action style of the older Armored Core games. The movement definitely feels, smooth. Like maybe I haven't really played much of the Armored Core games, but I have played like Dim Ex Machina, and I've played Armored Core 6. It's definitely a lot better than G Evil so far because one of the things that I mentioned in my video is that uh this game has so many side functions, like an incredible amount of, I guess, what's it called? Quality of life functions already, which is crazy because most of the time in the alpha, they would just focus on gameplay, gameplay, gameplay. But they got replays, they got kill cams, they got the scoreboard at the end, they got MVPs. Those are the stuff that G Evil didn't even have. And it was freaking being built by Bandai. Bandai Namco, one of the biggest, game publishers in the world. So I don't know.
Yeah, it what we played felt like very polished. Like it now I don't know where they're at in their dev cycle, but like they definitely put a lot of work into making sure that test was a good product because yeah, like having the kill cams to being able to switch to like all the different POVs and everything, it just felt really good. And like the little animations of you like getting back into the game with your pilot, like what you see on the desktop right there. um, yeah, that all that stuff was really good. It felt really polished. um,
Oh,
so
did you oh man, did you manage to get an MVP in the last playtest?
no, I never got MVP, which could be because I'm bad, or it could be because I played Lumine for like half the games.
Oh,
And
okay, that's pretty fair.
yeah, so like I tried a bunch of other mechs for like one game, but like I defaulted to Lumine for most of them,
Oh,
just
and why
because.
is that?
Well, mostly because I like playing supports in multiplayer games,
Oh,
and so I really wanted to see like if it fulfilled that kind of play style fantasy for me. But also because most people don't play supports in games, and like there were like basically until Parent Day, the dev hopped on our team. Nobody else was picking it, so I just picked it by default
oh, I
because
think you were on the other team then.
yeah,
I
you were.
think I was Celtic and you were on the other team. I have a
Yeah.
question then. How do you feel about this game only really having one support in the game?
Well, there's one support and one quote unquote tank. So, what I would like to see is in the customization for the loadouts that different different strikers could swap in to kind of cover different roles. So, like maybe if you have like all DPS on your team and maybe a Tricera for a tank, like maybe two or three of your DPS could swap in a weapon or ability that has like a weaker support function, just so like the combined might of that kind of hybridization could function as a support if nobody was playing one. Something
Oh, you
like that.
mean like maybe a alternate loadout as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, yeah. Something like that would be cool. I don't know that they're gonna do that. This is purely speculation, but um, yeah. So Yugi Mete is asking if when we selected mechs to play, did we see any slots or attachments that people can customize to get certain benefits? Should not be monetized, of
Uh,
course. So I saw the loadout screen. I don't know if you visited it in
I
the
checked it out.
test. Yeah.
But I do want to mention I'm not fearing. I know Celtic has this fear. I'm not fearing that this is going to be a game that requires you to grind a bunch of freaking parts for damage in game. Mostly because this doesn't really follow the gacha the core gacha gaming designs of big numbers, you know? Like you don't see any numbers when you're hitting people, you don't see your like damage numbers until really after game. And usually that means that they want to keep it relatively competitive, non-distracting. As where GBO2, when you hit somebody with a beam rifle, you see that number pop up. You know it's because you bought the level 4 one off of the gotcha thing.
Yeah, like part of the reason like multiplayer games have monetization, like pay to win monetization, um, is because they want you to spend money and feel good about it because everyone else is seeing like how good you are because of the money you spent or whatever. So, like Axel said, in a game where there's like not damage numbers, at least not yet that we've seen, then like you, it's more of like a humble brag when you're doing really good, right? Because you're like nobody else is seeing your numbers or anything like that.
I don't think dealing damage is the most important thing either in this game.
Oh no, no, it's definitely not. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was just an example.
Mm. No, yeah,
So
no, that's fair. I just wanted to point out that like all the game modes that we played are objective based. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter if you're doing damage. If your team can't count objectives, you lose anyways.
right, and I pointed out in my video too. Like getting kills is it. It's not worth very many points. I'm not saying it's not how you
Mm.
win because you can snowball quickly once you kind of set up an outnumbered like rotation where you kill one of their guys and then kill another one 20 seconds later, and so like you're just kind of keeping them in like a 6v5 or whatever because they're always one person down. Like that can snowball because it can help you get objectives, but like you none of the matches that we played, I don't think were really won by points from kills. There were a couple that were close where the kills in the end mattered, but on the nodes map, like the first one we played, do you remember that?
It was the conquest mode or capture
Yeah,
the
yeah,
right.
yeah. I remember one game where you guys were up like a lot of points, man.
Oh, I remember that game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we came back and
yeah.
won within like 5 points of you guys.
Oh yeah, it was insanely close, and it was
Yeah,
because we focused on kills actually that we ended up losing because we were just like sort of going after one player, all like six of us ganging up on one guy, but that meant everybody else got a chance to backcap the sides, and the
it,
maps are really big actually, so it's
yeah,
kind of you gotta spread out a little.
yeah, yeah. They're big. Yeah, man, that was fun. This game is so fun, guys. If you're in chat or watching the VOD, like I can't stress how much fun it was to play this game. Um, it was a blast. Let's see. Let's try and get to some more questions here. Does it feel like Zone of Enders? I don't. You kind of touched on what the feel was like. Um, Somebody else mentioning Armored Core. As far as how the game kind of relates to Armored Core feel, like it definitely doesn't feel like old gen Armored Core, and it feels a lot more flighty than Armored Core 6. So like if I had to equate it to an Armored Core generation, I'd say like fourth gen, but it's not nearly as fast as fourth gen is ungodly fast. Like we don't I don't think we really need another mech game that's that fast. But anyway, that's kind of how
Oh,
I would
yeah,
put
true.
that. Let's see. Plans for roster expansion in the future, like more striker models.
Season pass, baby. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I do not know. What I mean, what we can say is oh, we got a new person here.
Hey, it's Envy.
Hey, what's up, Inve?
Not too much. Sorry, I'm a little bit late for my work day. There was some traffic on the way home.
Understandable.
No problem at all. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? I don't know if anyone in chat knows who you are, so it'll benefit them.
That's pretty fair. Hey, I'm Envy. I am the emulation guy for the Armored Core community for the 4th generation of games. I created and maintain the emulation pack and do tutorials for Answer and stuff. Yeah, I just like to play Armored Core and mecha games and stuff. Not knowing who I am, very, very normal, very small outside the Armored Core community.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can personally say that you were one of the first people in the Armored Core community that I actually learned of, because when I first started making videos for Armored Core 6, I decided I wanted to go back and play For Answer, and I'd only played it on console. So like your tutorials saved my ass trying to get it set up on my PC. So
glad to hear. I mean, that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
Getting that set up was kind of a pain, just because the patches for Armored Core 4 are basically lost media. So we had to find somebody who had a PS3 that was patched already and rip the patches off of that to actually get those patches. They don't exist anywhere else on the internet.
Damn.
Yeah, so if any of you are in chat are interested in playing Armored Core 4 Answer, either again or for the first time through emulation, definitely check out his channel.
Also Armored Core 4.
Yeah, Armored Core 4.
People skip that one. Yeah. Armored Core 4 is first. 4 Answer's a sequel.
That's very true. I
play Armored Core 4.
Yeah, it's good to play. It's good to play it first, for sure. In some ways, I like it better. But anyway, I was in the middle of answering a question when you popped in, so I'm going to get back to that. I did not forget you, Yugamate, or sorry if I mispronounce your name. No, we answered your question. Somebody was asking about the roster expansion. It was baked turkeys. And so what I was going to say is that there are 2 mechs that we played in the test that are not publicized on the website. So I'll show right now, give some visual stimulation to the viewers here. So this is the roster that they have on the website, 7 strikers. And there were 2 more that I played one of them, and I know Inve played the other one, and we can talk about those.
I love the other one.
Yeah, but it was the Aquila and the Inferno. One was a sniper, and the other one was kind of like an energy DPS, I guess.
Yeah, Inferno is like an energy DPS. If you have the clip from the media kit called A1-Aquila-MP4 in the firepower folder, that has a
yeah.
I think it's the only current publicly available footage of that mech.
It's literally in the trailer, though. That's what I was like.
Yeah, it is. It's the same cut as from the trailer, but it's just specifically that cut.
See.
There's also a flyby. There's actually several flybys in the trailer. There's one in a night city of a map that we didn't see before. Oh. And then they were also flying by, was a close-up on the Infernal's like base and chest structures.
So, actually, I didn't realize this. Both of them are in this. both of the ones that aren't shown on the website.
Yeah.
It's them fighting.
Yeah. That's true.
I think this is the clip you're talking about. I don't know if you have the stream pulled up.
It.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is from the Aquila POV, I think, and
then
it's so cool.
And that big like map-wide beam weapon was the Inferno, right?
Yeah. So that laser, I think hits just everything on screen for you. It's really cool. I feel like that's probably going to be one of the things they change because.
Oh, do you remember if it tracks or not? I don't remember.
Yes, it does track. It aims for you.
Yeah.
So that's the one Nomad's asking about in chat right now. The yellow one shoots beams in the trailer. That is Inferno. It is not a PvE bot. You can play as him. It is exactly as awesome as it looks.
Yeah. I remember. I didn't play the Inferno, but I remember getting got by Inferno a couple times.
He's honestly, he's the best counter to the Falcon in the game. Because there's no
just
cover.
laser beams it out of this guy.
Yeah, you just keep firing those lasers in the sky, and the Falcon just melts, baby. I love it.
Yeah.
And the Achilles is so cool.
Yeah,
it's the first
cool.
mecha picked up, and it looks like you guys know Macross? Okay, it looks like the YF-25, which is the one from Macross Frontier, was the full kit on, which is with all the missile boats and all the lasers on the back when it's transformed. I was just watching Macross Frontier again yesterday. I was like, wait, that's it. That's the thing. It has like the bulky legs and also the long extended rifle, right? It looks so cool.
Yeah, the Aquila was the only sniper that I played, and I liked it a lot. It was definitely fun, especially with how flighty it was. It was really, I don't know, it was really nice because you could kind of just hover over the battlefield and kind of pick your timing to get in there and take a shot. It was nice.
Cells here.
Hey, what's
Hello.
up?
I didn't pay attention to the time, so I'm really late. Might be.
It's okay. I just got here too. I was late because of traffic, so but I have a real excuse.
Yeah,
what are we
it's all
talking
good.
about?
Damn.
Well, go ahead.
How
And
cool the
real
Inferno and
excuse.
Aquila are.
Yeah. Go ahead and introduce yourself though for chat if you want, and then we can get back to some of these questions.
Well, I am Celtic Spear. I don't know if I do anything important actually. I guess I am the emulator guy for 5th Gen. That's like the one thing that a lot of people have seen, and I make PvP videos of Armored Core, all of them, not just any generation. And that's about it.
Sweet.
As for the test, I played everything except for the healer. I kind of forgot about it, and we ran out of time, so I couldn't get to it. So if you have any questions of any of them, I can answer them with some competency.
Yeah. We were talking about why I played so much Lumine in the test, and it was kind of because no one else was picking it. I guess like you.
All right. Here's the real. Okay. Do you feel like we have to have a Lumine on the team?
It was impactful in the Conquest map. And I think it could be in the CTF map too if like to be fair, we were not very coordinated most of the time. So but if I'd coordinated with an ally who grabbed the key for the launch, and I was kind of pocket healing them, like keeping them up to get over there and do their thing, then that might have been a viable strat. It never really worked out. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, because like in a lot of games, like Dungeons and Dragons, for example, just because I played that recently, like healing is better done out of combat because it's better to just kill the threat than to like just try to out heal its DPS, because you're usually not going to do that. So I could definitely see like full DPS comps being viable, or even Illuminate in fights, like maybe starting off doing like a rotation of getting a dot or like a heal over time on everyone, and then going to dotting the enemies, and then not going back to healing until like the fight was over, just to repair people up for the next one. Something like that maybe. But
part of it is offset by Tricera having healing drones too, I think.
Yeah.
'cause,
Hmm.
he can kind of fill a little bit of that role. Obviously, it's not as specialized, but
Right.
Yeah, but the healing on the Tricera is nowhere near as powerful, and you can only
Yeah.
heal
Yeah.
2 people,
Yeah.
yeah,
including
it still
yourself.
can kind of take the edge off of a combat encounter, though.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So I'm gonna answer this question because Jacoby's been patient. He wants to know: do the mechs feel really tanky? And the little bit of gameplay we saw makes all the mechs seem super tough. Either that or the weapons don't seem to do too much damage. And that kind of relates to one of the questions that the Discord community had about like time to kill on average, like in a 1v1 situation. So we can kind of talk about that for a little bit if anyone wants to take lead.
I felt that this is one of those games where in a 1v1, unless you get hit by the full kit, you're probably not gonna die. And by
Yeah.
that I mean you will have to rotate out of your abilities in order to deal real damage. For example, the main example of that I felt like was the Falcon. The Falcon does not do enough damage to win a 1v1 unless you rotate through the entire kit, which requires you to transform because one of your stronger weapons is only available when you're transformed into the flight mode. But
Well, I feel like the damage though that we do is lasting enough so that like you would be able to kill. Like for example, when I was playing Achilles, I basically every single time a Falcon was unloading on me, I think I had only 2 rotations, or he only had 2 rotations before he could kill me, which is actually big because I had to shoot like maybe it's 10 to 20 shots in order to get the Falcon as the Achilles. So like there's definitely a lot of damage on some of the characters, but I would definitely say this is like a team oriented game. You can't really solo kill that hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the like your fight's gonna get +1 by somebody. Like if you're dueling somewhere, as long as your
Oh
team
yeah.
has any map awareness at all, like there's gonna be a +1. And
I think there's exceptions to that, though, like the damage rule of having to go through your whole rotation. Like I think Inferno and Tricera can melt somebody without having to go through their entire ability.
I completely
disagree.
disagree. Yeah, I
The
completely
like
disagree.
this is not a game where you can actually kill someone with your main weapon. You have to use your kit, and if you don't do
Yeah.
that with the Inferno, for example, you're not really dealing any damage because the main weapons on the Inferno are decently strong.
Right.
It's
Rather for the
the
Inferno,
dual
I was
laser
thinking
rifle.
more
Yeah.
more one rotation on the Inferno would kill something because like
Yeah,
I've tried that, but there's like
I
few
feel like I
things
popped
that
the
are
Falcon on one
squishing
rotation.
them. Well,
sure.
that's like probably the only exception though, because like
it depends on the
literally
mech and
anything
the.
else.
It depends on the shield also, because especially
Oh,
for range mechs, in this game everyone has a shield on them, like a bubble shield, like Primal Armor for Armored Core. I don't know if you play that.
Mhm.
And melee can go through the shield.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
they don't need to deplete it to deal damage. So their damage output is like direct immediately as long as they
Yeah.
get close. But
yeah, I
range
definitely
mechs,
I
they
got
have to go through the shield. They have to deplete it first before dealing real damage, and that will add to the rotation or like the amount of rotations you have to do with your abilities in order to kill someone.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
also
Like
felt like the oh, go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead, go ahead.
yeah, I just want to say like the main exception to this conversation I think is melee, because well there were 2 different times I just got stun locked and auto attacked to death by a Welkin. Like
yeah, Welkin.
yeah,
There's no
so
place.
I mean I was probably doing a lot of things wrong, but like it's definitely possible for you to just get nuked in melee if you're not making the right choices or the other person's really good. Because I think those deaths were maybe like 10 or 15 seconds. So so I think melee is the big exception there. But like with all the ranged weapons, yeah, the fact that the shields are there does slow the pace of combat down quite a bit and force the rotations in general.
Oh, something that's cool though, if you're talking about being stun locked, is that I noticed, at least for the listening, or I don't even know how to pronounce it really. Looseness.
Yeah.
It had a combo where people can usually get out on the third strike. One melee combo is really hard to finish off as a fourth strike, and the last strike in a combo is usually the heaviest hitting one. I noticed that for the Welkin as well.
Yeah, for the Welkin. Yeah, there was one time that like I was able to escape from a combo, which was really nice, but then I just fucked up and ended up cornered against terrain and died anyway. But that's just me being bad. But yeah, there's definitely like if you're doing the right things, like melee isn't a guaranteed kill, which is nice. They might rebalance some of that, but we got.
Here's the thing I
think,
noticed regarding the stun locks. If someone is asking if there's a way to avoid it with mobility, is that whenever I was getting stun locked, I was seeing a prompt on screen telling me to quick boost out. So I think you can actually just quick boost out of stun locks, but I'm not entirely
Yeah,
sure.
you
Yeah.
can. It says it in the design doc that we got some.
Yeah, that
So
was
yes,
how
you can
I
avoid
escaped.
it.
Yeah,
So there is too many things that have to go wrong for you to get attacked in melee.
yeah,
First
yeah.
of all,
Assuming
like, a lot
you
of
have
mechs.
energy, Lamau.
Yeah.
A lot of mechs have ways to prevent the melee people from getting to you. For example, the Aquila, which is not shown, it can stun people. It has drones that you can throw at people, and it will like CC them for a few seconds. So
Yeah.
unless you miss that, you will never like get caught off guard by a. Of course, you're gonna get caught off guard if you're not paying attention to them. But if you manage to CC the enemy, they won't get close. So a
Yeah.
lot of things have to go wrong depending on the mech that you have for them to get close to you. On the Tricera, which is probably the main victim of melee because it's so slow, you can just go into fortress mode and you have some
Oh yeah.
invulnerability to get in staggered.
Yeah, you don't
Ah.
get staggered in Tricera. Yeah, mostly. So
So-
I do want to provide context for when I was really dying to melee because I don't want to be dooming about melee, like, or give people the wrong impression. So I said earlier I played Lumine a lot, and it was so I usually tried to run from fights. Like if somebody singled me out, I was trying to run because I'm not gonna like out DPS them. I was like healing myself and trying to run, and so I was basically out of energy in those situations, except the one where I was able to escape. So like it was, I want to be clear, it was me, it was basically that perfect cocktail that Celtic Spear is talking about, where like I had played poorly and run out of a resource, and that's why I got. And one of the other situations, I had like two melee people on me that were hitting at different times, different intervals.
Yeah.
And that stun locked me because like I wouldn't recover from the first guy before the second guy hit me. So like,
Oh, that's the teamwork, baby.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dreamwork.
yeah. So like, yeah, definitely don't doom about melee in chat. Like it's gonna be unfun or whatever. Like you just have to play around it. It's totally fine.
So I kind of want to pick your guys' brains about Panther because when
Oh,
I tried to play
God.
him, it felt like garbage. But that one dev named XXXX, I don't know if you guys got killed by him, but he destroyed me when he was using that thing, or when they were using that thing.
Oh.
And I have no idea how they did it, but it was like every time I dealt with it, I just got like insta melted. Like I think
Yeah.
it
What
does
were you
insane
playing?
damage. I think I was playing Welkin. Either Welkin or
Welkin?
Inferno.
Oh,
no, I was
yeah.
red.
From
Yeah.
what I remember,
Red
the
was
Panther.
yeah.
I did not like it, but I can sort of understand where like how you got killed, because from what I remember, the spear, like it has a lance that you can like launch at people with. I think it has multiple hitboxes, like it has multiple instances of it actually dealing damage.
Yes.
So if you
Yeah.
hit
See
the
it in the
full,
video.
yeah, if you hit the full launch, you're gonna deal like most amount of damage, and then you can just run away because you can use the same like launch from the spear to like create some separation. So it's probably a really good hit and run mech. When I
he's
tried it,
gonna
I
be
didn't like it
insane.
though.
Yeah, I got
Really?
super hard when I tried it. I could not make it. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what happened to
damn.
me. But he like comboed out of it into like 2 or 3 other things, and it just tore me in half.
Yeah.
It's like I'm pretty sure you can cancel that
Do
into something.
you,
but
do
I'm
you
not
remember what team he was
100%.
on? Yeah,
Uh,
do you remember?
He was on your guys' team.
Yeah, Yeah, he was in our
Yeah, I
team.
think
If
he
he
was-
was
Oh,
fighting
He
okay.
was on Kelt's team.
Okay, because I remember fighting a Panzer as the Linus, and I remember winning every fucking fight
That
against
was
that
probably
thing.
me.
Oh.
you were probably killing me. That would
But
not
yeah, I
surprise me.
I like to add some context to
My
why I
bad.
thought the Panther was bad. It's because the game has a clash and a parry system.
Yes.
If you perfect block with a shield, like a physical shield, because some mechs have also, like on top of having the bubble shield, they have a physical shield they can block with by pressing a button.
Hold on, could he
If
fly
you
in the-
get
He can.
what?
What?
I don't. Sorry, Absurd just played a clip of the Panther jumping up into the air on a jetpack and then like spin dive kicking something. Could he do that in the?
No, you always could do that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's just
It's
the
part of
normal
the-
boost. Yeah, up into the air.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
It's just
It's
the aerial version.
the
I
aerial.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Linus
So-
gets it, and the Welkin gets it too.
Since the Panther has to initiate with melee, if you melee into a shield, you are gonna be minus like a lot. You won't be able to act after doing that because you're gonna get like pushed back, and that kind of kills it. If you try to melee someone
yeah.
with a shield,
But that's
um,
only the Linus and
yeah, only the
the
Alisnus and
the
the
other
Panther have a
Panthers.
shield.
yeah.
The Welkin, however, does not have a shield. It instead
Yes.
has the axe. But there is a similar effect that will happen if you melee into another melee attack, and you both will get knocked back instead
Not
of
bad,
only one of
which
us.
is
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah,
So for the
parry,
Panther
yeah.
to get started, it's kind of hard for it to get started if the enemy knows you're going for them, because they will either block you or they will melee into you, and then you will clash. And you know, since it's a team game, even if the clash
Yeah.
is like disadvantage for both of you because you're both gonna be unable to act, if there's someone else that you're gonna
yeah.
get third party.
Yeah. Well, that's why he has two shields, baby.
It's a yeah,
Like, but I do think when I was playing the Panzer, I felt like depending on the team composition, I literally couldn't hit anyone. Like it's just, I hit the Linus, nope, he has a shield. I hit the Falcon, nope, they're flying. Hit the Tricera, nope, he's too freaking tanky for that. I'm just gonna waste my time because the Panther's damage actually feels really low compared to the other two melee characters. If you even see in the testing, unless you land that lance, the shield dagger does like PP damage compared to the halberd or the axe, which just hits more like consistently, in my opinion.
So it seems like he's really got to be played as like an assassin to be made work.
Yeah.
Or at least he did have to be in
Yeah,
in
for
the
sure.
test that he played.
Yeah, I feel like
Is-
you either bait someone else into attacking you first so you can parry them, or you try to get the drop on them before they realize you're even there.
I mean, we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah.
I have faith. There's a guy plays a lot of melee in both PG Evo and AC6. His name is Mood. I think you've probably seen him around if you played in any of the tournaments of Armored Core 6. Maybe. But he's some good stuff for melee. I have faith that people better than us will make it work.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this kind of goes, the point I'm about to make kind of goes back to what we were talking about with time to kill as well. And it's the fact that, like, well, and about the Illuminate too, because, like, if you don't have a healer or somebody with a repair skill on your team, like, there's really no recovery in between fights. So, like, you could win one fight and then die in 5 seconds when the next fight starts because you're at half health and like Panther lanced you or something like that. So like the Panther could be good in that way, like finishing kills, just kind of like using its shields to like kind of tank and try to peel for the ranged DPS and then swoop into like finish kills once they're getting low. So
He was a really good capper, though. I'm not gonna lie. Having that 2 shield, just like, because you can cap while holding the arm shield, and if you get hit, I didn't get interrupted in capping a point, I think.
oh,
So-
that's nice. Yeah. Because what I like to try to do with the Lumine was try to dot people that were trying to cap, and then I would just like back off so that the dot ticks would prevent capture. Because I couldn't really kill them. Like,
Smart.
So yeah, that whole capture thing, there'll definitely be some like meta strategies that come up around that for sure. Let's see, I'm not seeing any. Oh, does Falcon have an energy weapon weakness that you guys noticed?
I don't remember its stats from the top of my head. So I don't know if it's actually just weak to energy weapons. But whenever we talked about the Inferno being a counter to it, it wasn't because the Falcon was like a straight up weak to whatever the weapon that the Inferno had. It's just that the Inferno just has a laser pointer. So it doesn't matter
Does a
that
lot of damage.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you're flying and doing all these crazy maneuvers because you're getting pointed by a laser that does a lot of damage. So at least there is that.
It smelts things, dude.
Yeah.
I really wish they'd given us the abilities.
One thing to note though is that the laser, the big laser, is not enough to melt through more than a single
like shield bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're attacking something with a full shield, you won't be able to penetrate it. You will have to just kill the shield and then go with your other weapons. Viability of the sniper mechs. Someone asked in chat. They are really good. They're really good.
They're really good.
Both play very differently. The Narukami is they both can like double as a support, because they both have like provide a different type of support for the team. The Narukami will turn people invisible, because anyone inside its field will also become invisible with it. And the Aquila, unless they changed this on release, remember that what we played was a pretty old build, so a lot of things may have changed. For example, I don't think that Narukami had the giant invisibility field that it has now. Before you had to use like the little decoys to turn people invisible.
Oh,
I don't remember if it
remember
had
that.
the big one. If it
I
had
think
it, then
they did.
yeah, I don't remember exactly, but so the Narukami can turn people invisible, and the other sniper can stun people because it has the drones that stun. So you can create a lot of opportunities. For example, say the Falcon is trying to harass someone. You can just shoot him out of the sky with the drones. He's gonna get staggered, and then someone can pick him up from there.
Yeah, the other
So, yeah,
important thing about the stunning ability is I'm a terrible FPS gamer. So it really helps me land the shots like in the scope. Like if I was out of ammo in my normal soft lock mag, like I could, stagger someone to like actually get a decent shot off, which was pretty.
You can
helpful.
also lock on in the scope, by the way.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yes, you can. I talked about this. I was like, man, I wonder how we're gonna balance the sniper scoping because you move so fast, right? And I didn't even realize that there was lock on for the sniper scoping for the first match of playing the Achilles. I was just
Yeah.
Also,
doing
both
the quick scope.
I never figured
both
it
the
out.
snipers. If you let them do their thing of sitting back and a snipe, they do a ton of damage.
So
The
much
Narukami can charge its rifle. It has to be stationary to do it. But if it's stationary, it can charge the rifle to max, and do a lot of damage. It will destroy shields in 2 shots.
That is true.
Meanwhile, the Aquila, I don't think the Aquila could charge its rifle. But you are allowed to just unload the entire mag on people.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that because, I don't know. I got as soon as I pulled open the scope, I instantly went back to my Modern Warfare days, and I was like, holy shit, I gotta aim this shit, So I didn't even really give it a chance to auto lock for me. So that's pretty interesting.
I think it's better if you didn't, honestly. If you just use your Modern Warfare skills, man, it works better because you have less downtime,
Yeah.
You can get shots off faster, you can switch targets faster. It just works better when you're using your FPS skills.
Yeah, and I definitely did do that a few times. I would get some shots off, and then when people realized they were getting sniped and started to move and run, because it zooms in, and with the how fast the movement speed is, it's really easy for them to just move out of your camera.
That's true.
And so then I would come out of the scope and just use the auto like soft lock shots, the normal ones. Blackard and Black asks if the ammo recharges or do you have to pick it up. And so the ammo does recharge. It's basically like a global pseudo cooldown on your ammunition. Like there's no reload animation. It's like when you use a shot, then it kind of starts like a queue for reloading that shot behind the scenes. And it's definitely possible to blow through a whole mag before any of your shots reload. So at least it was for me on the Aquila. I don't know if you guys had experience with that on other strikers.
Yeah, the Aquila reloads on a timer. Like it has each shot will reload after a period of time happens. But it doesn't stop you from unloading the mag. So you can do a lot of damage like instantly by unloading the entire mag, but you will end up getting stuck with low ammo and you won't be able to like shoot very fast if you're bottom out and waiting for the magazine to come back.
You can't spam. Yep. Yeah. You gotta be careful with your shots.
Yeah.
Because you will run out of ammo.
Yeah.
If you're gonna spam, do it knowing that you will be in a really bad spot if someone tries to push into you while you're trying to reload. Having to reload one bullet at a time.
Yeah, that happened to me once with the Aquila, where I was just like, it was basically like at the very beginning when I first started playing it. It was my first magazine of playing it, and I blew through it the first one, and so then I was like, okay, and then I was stuck in the scope mode for the rest of the shots that I wanted to take for like the next, I don't know how many seconds it was until I got shots back with the main weapon. So that was very newbie of me, but it's something that you could use to your advantage to like really like get high DPS in a burst window, but typically you would want to be more strategic with your ammo use.
How do you guys feel about the downtime in this game? Like, there's a lot of times where you're either out of ammo or your boost gauge is like completely gone and you have to wait.
Okay, and I want to add to that conversation because I definitely want to have it. But somebody was asking about the death timer as well, and that kind of plays into the whole downtime conversation. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry for interrupting. I think it. Yeah. I think it was Inve that was trying to get it.
I thought it felt fine, honestly. I don't know. I was having some trouble with it at first because I was continuously spamming boost, and like when I came out of the spawn door, my first instinct was to like quick boost all the way out of spawn.
Fast.
But then that would put me at no energy. But as soon as I stopped doing that, it felt better.
Yeah.
The energy also it's different for each mech. I think some mechs have at least. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because the Falcon consumes a lot of energy compared to the other ones. Like,
you think it has less than other ones?
I don't think it has less. It's just that your abilities just consume more energy to move because you're gonna be going in and out of flight mode. You're gonna have to get altitude, go down to the floor, and get more altitude, depending on the situation, of course. So I feel like the energy management is way harder on the Falcon than it would be on something like the Aquila, for example. Because the Aquila just wants to be in the back, hovering, sniping people. It doesn't really need to move much unless it gets like attacked by something or it needs to reposition. While the Falcon is like constantly moving in and out of the map, bumping people, getting to the cap points. Like the moment I touched the Falcon, I felt like I was running out of energy, but I realized, it's not because like it has less energy. It's just that I'm consuming more energy because I have to be moving more. I have to be doing more stuff. The flight mode also just consumes more energy. So it depends on the mech. It felt good though. Like, of course you're gonna have all that mobility. You have to balance it somehow, right? You're the most agile mech in the entire game, so it obviously will have like energy problems as a balancing factor.
Yeah, and as far as like the ammo went, like I ran out of ammo a couple of times with the Aquila. the first time accidentally, like I described, and then another time just because I was really trying to get a kill. The same thing happened to me with the Lumine once, in a big team fight where I was trying to get 2 stacks of the heal over time on each of my allies. And that kind of like tapped me out of ammo, but I was able to switch to the DPS mode after that, so it wasn't a big deal. I don't really remember running out of ammo on anything else. I mean, I played the Welkin and the Elisnus, and they have melee, so you don't even have to worry about ammo on those. At least for those attacks, right? Like if you run out of ammo, you just go into melee.
Yeah, you can just pull out the halberd.
There was a huge cooldown on some abilities though, like 20 seconds or something. Where I think the Infernal's chest laser was at least like 15 seconds.
Yeah, it was a really long one. I mean, it makes sense. It's a big fucking laser,
with
so.
those slumps abilities, you can cancel it early and reduce the amount of time it will take to come back.
I'm pretty sure his wide area entire team middle finger move also has a long cooldown, but I don't remember exactly.
It probably is very long. Let's be real.
But you will again. You will only suffer the full cooldown if you don't activate it. I mean, if you activate it for the entire duration, you can turn it off before that, and you will only reload the amount of time that like you only need to. It's proportional to when you activate it and when you deactivate the ability.
Yeah. I feel like some of the cooldowns are designed so an ability, like certain abilities, are only usable like once per fight, but you're guaranteed to have them in the next fight.
Oh wait, what do you guys think about the fact there's no like ultimates in this game?
I mean,
I like
there's
that.
no.
I think ultimates are bad.
Yeah, I mean,
oh really?
The big cooldown
yeah.
ones kind of feel like ultimates in a way, because it's like your cooldown ability. But I don't know. I guess it's how you define ultimates.
Like something that could...
like a...
with all the abilities you have them from the beginning. You don't have to build your G maneuver or your ult meter or whatever. Like you always have
your
G
maneuvers.
It's not like a win button. Your cooldown ability is like an ability you have to use. I feel like Overwatch, like you push the win button and you win.
Yeah, the win button, the funny win button.
Yeah.
Dude, Overwatch 2 and G Evo was all about just like slapping each other around until you have the win button, and it was so boring, man.
Yeah, I don't like ultimates. I'm glad they're not a thing.
Yeah. So
what game did you all play? We played 6v6 capture the flag and 6v6 3-point domination in different maps.
The capture the flag was a neutral flag team deathmatch.
Yeah, and it
thing.
And I think
mode. It was cool.
I think it could spawn multiple flags too. Like I feel like I remember like
up to 3.
Yeah, up to 3. Like if people are just not getting to the flag, it'll spawn another one.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's
also
asking...
on the topic of kinetic weapons.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, what are you gonna? Yeah,
I was gonna change
on
the
topic of kinetic.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Falcon has missiles that I think do kinetic damage. The Tricera has the howitzer. I am not certain if weapons. Yeah, I'm not certain if melee weapons are physical or not, but
they're melee.
I would assume
there's a specific.
There's a separate. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there is.
Then they don't count. But for kinetic, it's just the Tricera and the Falcon that have kinetics, from what I remember. I think the Alisnus has a kinetic machine gun when it goes into.
I saw the Alisnus has the machine gun and the railgun.
Oh yeah, it has the railgun too.
Has the railgun? It's got a glowy thing around it. So I thought
that's true, but it's not like
because it's a railgun. You know? It's a gas cannon.
Oh yeah, it's a railgun.
I made this mistake in 4 answer for a long time too. So
I'm pretty sure it's kinetic too. It should be kinetic because railguns don't fire energy like plasma and stuff like that. Contrary to popular belief. I think all the snipers were.
It's a Gauss
energy.
Is Gauss rifles railguns?
Gauss is like a railgun
projectile, right?
Gauss
is a railgun, but instead of being a rail, it's like circles.
Yeah. Have you ever played Halo? Remember the Gauss Hog? That's kinetics.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like the Gauss Hog's awesome.
Yeah, true.
I see Jacoby. I'm sorry. He's asking if you can customize pilots or character create. No, they are preset pilots.
Yeah,
there were 2 available, a guy and a girl. They were both kind of generic.
Yeah, they were. The models on the website look a lot better than the ones we saw. So
I haven't had a look at that yet, actually.
Yeah.
That said, the main character in the website has a male and female model, so maybe just maybe there's gonna be some customization to it, because in the beta we couldn't, or in the test we couldn't really change their gender.
Wait.
It does say protagonist, huh? That's
Wait.
Because like the pilots we played in the beta had names.
In the trailer,
but they had names.
We had a helmet. There was a helmet on the protagonist character in the trailer they dropped, the second one that they dropped. That maybe
there is
means that there is customization.
We didn't see any customization, but I wouldn't write it off because everything's subject to change, and the protagonist is called the protagonist, so it's not like.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that's possible. I didn't know about that. We didn't see any.
Yeah, we didn't see any like actual customization, but maybe I wouldn't write it off.
The future is bright.
Yeah.
One thing to note though is that the characters do have stats tied to them. So if your custom create a character, I don't know how it'll fare in multiplayer or what stats it might have, but yeah, they do have stats tied to them.
We don't know what any of the stats mean, though.
Yeah, that's true.
They're stats. They're like piloting and defense and
defense.
They were very generic sounding. I don't know.
Yeah, some of them were like pretty self-explanatory. Defense, I think I know what defense does.
Is there explosive
damage? I don't know about you guys, but
did any of you remember if there was?
Yes. I'm gonna be real. I was not looking at the menus that closely, which kind of makes me bad, but.
Fair enough. But there was melee, there was energy, kinetics, and explosive. That was sort of 4 damage types.
Rock, paper, scissors, gun.
Gun.
Yeah, I was very much like, oh wow, I love the Ulysses. I'm gonna play this for the rest of the test.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ulysses was really cool.
I love it.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty fun, and it was pretty. So there was one question about kind of the viability of stacking all of the same builds. So I don't know if you guys want to talk about the matches where we had 6 Ulysses or 6 of the Welkin.
It was 6 Ulysses for 6 Inferno at one point, yeah.
Or was it 6 Inferno?
It was Inferno versus Ulysses. That was so fun.
So what happened is that someone brought up the idea of bringing the Welkin for it was Axolotl or whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. And it worked really well, but I feel like it only worked really well because it was done in the specific game mode where you have to cap stuff. You have the capture sounds, and the Welkin can put up its like barrier that is impenetrable, so you get to cap for free. And I think that's the only reason it worked, because if we try to do the same in, say, the capture the flag mode, where you have to go retrieve a key, a launch code or whatever, and then take it to another point, I feel like we would have like gotten picked up on the way and wouldn't been able to do much, because the Welkin is slower than, say, a Falcon. So if a Falcon got the key, what are we gonna do?
That gives me just like the mental image of like a line of Welkins just placing down one bubble after another.
Yeah.
Just doing like a bubble convoy.
Only Welkin. I don't think they're gonna let us do this online though. I think it was only because it was a custom match.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance of that.
Yes, mechs have their own stats, and so do pilots. Yeah, and your final stats are decided based on both.
Yeah, it's just
6
hard.
Triceras sounds really funny, but also it would be so painful because you would just be like stuck in pain.
You cannot switch mechs mid game.
No, you can't.
You're stuck with what you brought.
Yeah. So do you guys think the queuing or the matchmaking it'll be random map, or do you think you'll know the map before you choose your striker?
It felt like you can pick the map because the main hub has like a hologram of the areas, I think.
Okay. So do you think people will queue for specific maps?
Table.
Do you think people?
Yeah, they'll probably give you the ability to just queue into what map you want.
I think it's gotta be that way because it seems like each map is a mode, right? So you would not.
Like, so we were doing customs.
Well,
so you
okay.
can
Well, hold on.
Pick whatever you want.
Hold on. I think Gundam Evolution had random maps and random modes in its quick play.
Hope that this doesn't take anything out of Gundam Evolution for everyone's sake.
Full kit description of Inferno and Aquila.
Okay, I got you because I remember them perfectly.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Also, this will be my last answer because I need to go to soon.
Yeah, so, that's fine. Yep.
Aquila has a beam cannon. It has a scoped beam cannon. So whenever you go into scope, the sniper rifle changes properties, I think. Its first ability is a bubble shield. On top of your actual bubble shield, you have double shields. It will reduce the damage you take from incoming range attacks. So you will be able to out-trade like another sniper or just trade shots with other mechs much better. Your second ability was the true drones that stun people. You can have 2 charges of it. Each charge is independent of each other, so you can fire one and then just have it reload and then fire it again, and you're gonna still have 1 left. And your third ability is a mobility kit. I'm not sure if they took them out of all the mechs, but the Alistas used to have one too. It doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, the Lumine had one too, which I think it still has.
I think it's still there. I think they changed the mobility kit for the listeners, the ability to get back into the primary form.
So remember that everything is subject to change, so these abilities might not be the same when the actual mech releases.
I'm so hyped for being able to get back into my full armor as a listeners in the next patch or next test, I guess. I want it.
But the extra mode.
What the mobility kit does is that it gives you the ability to hover, so you can hover it without losing altitude. So you can like, say, get over a hill and then just float there, snipe down, and go back. Those are the abilities for the Aquila. And for the Inferno has 2 primary weapons. It has a primary weapon and a secondary weapon that are the same. So your mouse 1 and your mouse 2 are the same weapon. They're just 2 laser rifles. You can fire them both at once, or you just fire one after the other. The second ability is a mobility kit that gives you more energy. It gives your shield back, and it boosts your laser damage too.
Oh, it boosts your laser damage?
Yes. Yeah. So it's a buff that gives you more energy. It either gives you more energy or more shield, and it gives you more laser damage. The third ability.
Damn.
Oh no, that's the second ability. Sorry, the second ability is the multi-target laser, the one you see where it shoots like a bunch of lasers everywhere. The way it works is that it has 12 lock-ons up to. Like you can only lock up to 12 targets. Remember that the enemy team is only 6 mechs, so you can lock onto more than just the entire team.
I didn't realize there was a lock restriction. I thought it was just everything on screen.
Yeah, it's up to 12. You cannot overlap targets.
So that'll matter.
So once
that's when the VR mode is coming in.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Once a target is locked, it cannot be overlapped by the other lasers, so you cannot have all 12 locks on a single target. That would be crazy. However, it targets incoming missiles.
Oh.
It works like a CWIS, a close-in weapon system. It will shoot down incoming missiles for you. So
wait, I feel like a lot of things. shoot down missiles now. What's happening? Why are they trying to counter the Falcon so much?
So you can lock onto missiles too. And the third and final ability is the chest laser, which basically allows you to focus all 12 lasers into a single beam, and you can beam something down with it. It's extremely strong, but it won't do more than a single bar of health. So if the enemy has a full shield, you won't, like, you're only gonna be able to deplete the shield, and maybe do a little more damage after. But it alone won't just kill a mech unless the shield they have is already depleted.
Yeah.
And you can, for both the multi-target mode and the single target mode of the laser, you can cut it early in order to not have to go through the entire reload. So for example, say it has 20 seconds of reload. If you kill a mech, you can turn it off because you're not going to need it anymore. And then maybe you have only 10 seconds of reload because you didn't consume the entire ability. However, I don't think that you can activate it while it's reloading. So if you're going to cut it short, make sure you cut it short in a safe place, because you won't be able to activate it again until it reloads.
You have an awesome memory, my friend. That was
I just like them so much that like, it's because, like, I really like I wasn't expecting the Inferno to be as fun as it is. I was getting top damage on like every match I used it.
It's so good.
It's really fun. It's really good.
I tried it in the test mode, and my first thought was, this is overpowered. I love it.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. We're singing praises, but I haven't mentioned something very important, and that's the reason why the Inferno lost to the Alisnes when they did 6 Inferno versus our 6 Alisnes. When you're in laser mode,
we counterpicked your ass.
Yeah.
We saw you guys pick
You did.
Inferno.
You picked the 2 life champ against our massive
when you're firing the chest laser and the multi-target laser, your turn speed is abysmal. You cannot just flick shot anymore. You have to like take a while to make any meaningful turn. So if you use it in a panic at someone that is close, they will just get behind you, and you will have to cut the ability short in order to turn and like retaliate. If you don't, then they are just gonna get behind you, and you won't be able to turn at them in time.
Yeah, it was like AC 1 turn speed. Maybe even worse. So it was bad.
If you're ever going to use it, you have to make sure you're not gonna get surrounded, because if you do, then you're gonna get swarmed. And that's how we beat the 6 Infernos. We just swarmed them with 6 Alisnes from all directions, and they couldn't do much without turning their abilities off.
Yeah, and it didn't even really matter if we like nuked one with the beam, because it would do the whole revive thing. And it was a pretty good counter pick, which brings me to another one of the questions from the community list, which was, how important was counter picking during the playtest? Now, I don't feel like our team really ever counter picked. I don't think any of us were either paying enough attention to that. Like, I think we were just like going about it casually, trying stuff out. Like, I don't know if anyone's really like playing sweaty,
I think everyone was just testing out stuff instead of actually doing any counter picking. I do want to say though that some mechs are clear counters to others, or they have some ability in their kit that is a clear counter to another mech. For example, the Falcon has an anti-stealth ability. And if we go back to when we were talking about the Narukami can turn other people invisible, including itself. So there is a clear dynamic there that if you have a Falcon, you can use the Falcon to counter the Narukami's stealth abilities. And the Falcon not only does that, but the Falcon allows you to mark targets for everyone. So everyone who is inside the anti-stealth like thing will get marked for your team. So your team will be able to see them through walls and stuff like that, from what I remember. And the main damage rotation of the Falcon is because the autocannons of the Falcon aren't very good, especially against shields. You're not going to be dealing, like, you won't be able to just hold down the button and expect real damage to happen. You have to rotate through your abilities, which are your missiles. And if you remember what I was talking about with the Inferno can double as a series. It can shoot down incoming missiles too, on top of using the laser to also target the Falcon. So there's also a clear like they want you to use this against this kind of deal, where the Falcon clearly like gets countered by the Inferno's ability to shoot its missiles down, which are their main like way that it deals its damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the trice, it's not as hard as a counter. Like I don't think it's a counter overall, but like with the Welkin's like fight cage ability, like a Tricera can kind of counter that by just going into turret mode. You're like, okay, fine, we'll play this way, you know? Like you won't be able to stagger me.
At one point, Invade tried to attack me with in a 1v1 when I was using the Tricera in the Elysinus. And I just went into Fortress mode and I just took it. I just out healed his damage and I just killed him.
So
I feel like there are some like not every mech has like that clear cut do this to counter this kind of feeling, but some of them do, some of them don't. It's a case by case basis. So I think
gotta do that team play, baby. That's why it has a functioning voice chat that's actually kind of decent, and also
overall you will have to think about your team compositions and what you're gonna bring against what, because you know if you have an Arukami and the enemy has a Falcon, you won't be able to utilize the Arukami's abilities.
You have to shield the Narukami.
You will have to.
Nobody was peeling for me. I was dead. Yeah, if you need to stick with somebody.
You will have to think of your overall team comp instead of just bringing whatever you want overall. So yeah, I think counter picking might be important. It will be important actually. It's a thing. Sometimes it's not obvious. Sometimes it's very obvious that it's a thing, but you will want to like think about that whenever you're building your team composition.
Oh wait, do you guys think this is gonna be a draft pick system?
Ooh,
that would be good. I don't know if it's possible with as many champions as there are mechs as there are right now.
Yeah, that like, would be hard.
Yeah, I don't think you can really have a ban with 9 total characters.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, because there's, I mean, like in 6v6, I mean, there's only 9 and there's 12 players.
How do you feel about the roster size?
I think it's good.
I think it's good. I feel like every archetype
I feel like
is
they're gonna
pretty...
add more, probably.
Yeah, I feel like overall from the starters, like every archetype is pretty well represented.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't think they would need to make more strikers. It would be cool if they did, but I think the game would get stale if they didn't, unless they allowed the customization for your loadout ended up being pretty in depth, where you could, like, kind of like I mentioned earlier, where you could hybrid your role a little bit, where you could maybe drop a weapon or something like that and acquire a support ability, or like a decoy drone or something to bust stealth or whatever. Like if they had like some of those abilities, like even if they just made it so you could take off one of your abilities and you would gain access to like any host of other abilities, something like that would make it feel a lot more engaging long term, even if they didn't add strikers. But I probably think they'll do both.
They gotta monetize those strikers, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
we don't know how,
for
but
sure.
It's
the only archetype I felt was not represented is a shotgun mech.
Oh, I want to get shotgunner.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Like a close quarters non-melee.
Like a close quarter shooter guy. Like that's the only thing that I feel like was not like the Elysinus kind of is it because it has a machine gun that's pretty strong. But like it's not a shotgun, you know. I want my shotguns.
Yeah, I love shotguns.
So couple
I see, but guys, shotguns are not.
I see in chat Ty saying, sounds like we like this game. He was missing some good PvP from AC6. Yeah, this is going to be the Armored Core 6 refugee station when it comes out, I feel. I think a lot of people who play Armored Core 6 or played Armored Core 6 are going to play this game and go, oh, wow, this is really cool, and play this instead.
Yeah, my biggest disappointment with AC6 was the lack of objective-based PvP modes.
And the maps.
It's cool for a little bit, but there's just not a lot there.
Yeah. So I love AC6. The gameplay is great, but for the team deathmatch and kind of what the meta devolved into pretty quickly, I got turned off from it. So this playtest was super refreshing because it's the whole balance of the game is team based and the maps are specifically designed around the objective on the maps, and like it was a well designed PvP system rather than like here's a single player game and there's PvP for when you beat your 3 playthroughs, which is kind of what AC6 was like.
They did actually design the PvP. It's great, very refreshing in developing.
It's okay, guys. From Software said that they were focusing on single player.
Yeah,
they did.
No, it's true. I bought it for the single player. So
monkey's paw curls.
So here's an interesting question. We kind of talked about the Panther earlier, but this is asking specifically if in the Panther versus Welkin matchup, who do you think is intended to win? And I'm going to open this up to you guys in a second, but I will say that I don't think any 1v1 matches are necessarily designed to have a specific victor. Like, it's not designed around 1v1. So just keep that in mind. But I don't know if you guys have thoughts about that matchup.
Welcome wins. Sorry, Panther.
I think it will come down to who attacks who first. Like I was saying, if the Panther, if the Panther opens up well, like as in I'm just gonna backstab you with the lens, then it will probably win. But if the Welkin know the Panther is coming, it can just attack into the melee, and then it can just put the fight cage on, and it's over.
Yeah, I think in that matchup, like 8 times out of 10, the Welkin's just gonna drop the cage and murder the Panther.
Also, the Welkin can blind you, like literally.
Yeah, he's got a flashbang.
It has a flashbang on his chest, so it will disable your lock on, and it will also put.
You see that poor sniper getting torn in half on stream? That was what happened.
Yeah, I mean the Panther could use its shield ability during the fight cage to like try and survive that, but it would.
Is that actually block melee, like his energy shield?
Yeah, it
think it
melee.
does.
Okay.
The thing I'm not sure about is that I think the flashbang also stuns you, but I'm not sure about that.
I don't think so. When I was playing Welkin, nobody ever got stunned from that.
Okay.
So I don't think
also,
that,
the Welkin has a gun. The Panther doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, in that close range, it doesn't really matter who has a gun because melee is the most damaging thing to go. And if the Panther has a passive block always with his energy shield, it means that the Welkin can't really use his melee attacks as effectively there. And within that little space, the Welkin is like you actually shouldn't target the Panther. I think targeting the Panther is probably the worst thing you can do as literally anyone because that shit he doesn't do anything. If you target him, you're just wasting your like I don't know. Maybe that's just me because he's supposed to grab your attention. So if you let him grab your attention, you've essentially failed the vibe check.
I feel like he really is pulling the assassin role straight out of League of Legends and transplanting it. Because that's like exactly how I would think about like a Kha'Zix back when I was in that phase of my life. Which, if you recognize those words, I'm sorry. But
yeah.
Oh shit. I feel like he would. He really fills the same role where it's like, I gotta focus on this. But if you focus on this first and you're in a team fight, you lose. But if you don't focus on it, then it kills your backline and you lose. So figure out when to focus on it. But you lose wrong. You know.
So
I wanna change the topic real quick because I need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Jacoby asks favorite mech for each of you. So I want to answer this and then dip. What do you guys think?
Inferno.
All right. What about you, Axel?
Oh, I think because I usually play a lot of mechs for guys and stuff like that, I don't really have a favorite, but well, the Elite Stand is probably the funnest because it has the two modes. It means that your gameplay is always going to be very varied, and it's a nice change of pace between the full armor mode and the Exia mode that I'm calling it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and the halberd is just really fun to slap people with because it does so much damage. And if you catch somebody like a Narukumi or a Keyless, they have like usually C ranks in melee defense. So you can almost essentially one combo them and or lead them at really low health. And that opens up so much for your team. I don't know. I like the new state. Fun.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, Absurd?
I don't. They were all really fun. Like I played Lumine the most. But I think it was my least favorite.
Oh man.
Not because it's not good or anything, but like it's not very high adrenaline. Like there's none of the buttons I was pressing or actions I was doing had an immediate like gameplay, like game making feedback or anything. Like I didn't feel like a playmaker at all. Like if I was gonna get a kill, it was gonna be because one of my dots just ticked down, or something like that. Like I couldn't step in to save somebody really, other than putting 2 heal over time stacks on them and hoping for the best. So it didn't feel fun in that way, even though it was effective. Like I think the funnest I had with that was when we were in a fight and I ended up healing a guy, and then people got on me, and so I was running and like I peeled for my team, and I had 2 guys chasing me like down into the bottom of the conquest map. Like, you know how there was that pit down under the middle node. And I don't know, I was just kiting and self-healing and basically distracting the team, and I just thought it was really funny, but like its gameplay wasn't as fun. So I would have to say for me, it's like a tie between Aquila and Tricera. They're both very different in their play style, but both of them were a lot of fun at what they did. Like with the Aquila, I felt like I was a sniper and evasive and just doing that kind of ranged support DPS role. And then with the Tricera on the Conquest map, it was super fun to just bunker down on a node and just like watch the enemies die and still be alive at the end of it. Like it was pretty good. The only thing is I don't think that would be good on the CTF map, just because it's too slow to get around. And so I don't know what you guys think about that particularly, but I think like with the Conquest map, how the fight centered around nodes, that really played into the strength of the Tricera, because the fight would come to you. But on the CTF map, it wasn't necessarily going to do that.
All right. Now, as for my favorite, I am going to say 3. But they kind of overlap. Gameplay wise, I really liked the Inferno, what the Inferno has going on, because it feels like they wanted to put like a super like robot mech in the game, and I feel they nailed it. I think that it doesn't look like your classic super robot, but its abilities of just spamming lasers everywhere. It literally has a chest beam, like it's very clearly inspired by a super robot.
Yeah, it's so
and I feel like they absolutely nailed the feeling of playing the clunky, big, like crazy super robot, without making it feel out of place by looking goofy or something, like looking like the messenger. Even though I like the messenger design, it would look weird if you had the messenger alongside like the Aliceness or the Tricera. And I feel they nailed it really well.
They have the Getter Robo though. They have the Welkin.
Yeah, for gameplay, I will also say the Inferno, but I kind of like the Aquila a lot because it's very I wouldn't say clearly inspired, but it feels very familiar to how you play a sniper in 5th Gen Armored Core. It's the pop shot god of this game. Even the down to the lock time. I've played so much 5th Gen that I have the sniper like lock time from the Slatko and the Sidecat, the 2 sniper rifles you would use in that game, like ingrained in my memory. I can do frame perfect. If you go watch my videos when I'm using those weapons, I can do frame perfect, get out of a scan mode, lock on. You don't even see the lock on indicator because I'm like that frame perfect with it that I can just press the trigger and then go back into scan mode instantly. The Aquila has the same lock time.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Does it? Oh man.
It has it pretty much has the same lock time. So it felt very familiar to play like instantly.
Yeah,
it's also
came into the
it's
test
also
with
inspired
OP
by it's also inspired by the Gespes Mag 1 from Super Robot Wars. So I really like that too.
The Gish.
Yeah, you've not seen it?
Oh
like,
yeah, I remember the Gish. Oh.
Yeah, like you once you see this image, you won't deny it.
I think it's more of the YF-25.
You have not seen this image, dude. You have not seen this image.
No. I will post it in chat. Okay, listen. Let me pull it up.
Here, dude.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier.
Yeah, post
You're
it.
not winning this. I put it in the group chat. I don't know if you want to put it on.
While they go find that, Jacoby, my thoughts on Falcon. He's harder to play than I would have expected, but really cool. If you can effectively rotate through all of your abilities, it does a lot of damage, but you have to be able to do that while not running out of energy. So,
but yeah, my final pick for favorite mech was the Vulcan, just for the meme purposes. I felt really good. That Triceratops was also up there. But getting someone in the cage fight and just destroying them with the Vulcan feels really nice, and I like that it has a flash like ability.
Okay, if we can pick more than one, I'm adding Elysius to my list too, and then because Elysius and Inferno are both so good.
Yeah, I think it's really funny that it says a lot about the game that it's kind of hard to pick a favorite because they all felt really well designed.
Yeah, they're great. I also love Tricera, but I mean, how can you not? It's got 4 Gatling guns and a howitzer. And
yeah.
Love.
Yeah, I really like how the howitzer felt. It feels
the
really
howitzer is so good, dude. When it just pops up, just dunk.
Yeah, it was like popping into turret. Like I would go into turret mode when I had like a Welkin chasing at me, then howitzer them to the face and grind them down with the Gatling guns, and it was fun stuff. Fun stuff.
It's really good, man.
Jacoby wants to know thoughts on the Falcon. We've talked about it before, but I don't know if anyone played it enough to like have a more detailed experience description of it.
I like it a lot. It feels like you're playing a Strike Suit Zero instead of playing like a lot of these mechs feel like you're playing a different game, which is really nice. I really like that. They all have like that distinct of a personality that you feel like you're playing a different game.
Yeah, they all
like I was saying,
have that.
The Aquila feels like you're playing AC5, but the Falcon feels like you're playing like Macross or something, and like having both of them be able to coexist is pretty nice. And it speaks a lot from the variety that is to be expected from the game. The only thing I don't like about the Falcon is its reliance on missiles, because the autocannons really do not do enough damage. You don't use the autocannons for damage. You use them to like harass like people.
No,
like you're just plinking them.
I don't know why the quality is so low for this.
For what?
The YF 25 Skull Squadron freaking variant. Look, man, the Geshpin is pretty close too. I will have to admit, but it doesn't have the bulky backpack. Look at the chat, bro.
Yeah,
it doesn't. The Geshpin doesn't have a super bulky backpack.
It literally has the same backpack as the. I
think all these designers are looking at the same picture.
Bro, Okay. All I'm saying is, the Geshman is cool, but YF is cooler. Alright, bro. It is what it is.
Let's see. Somebody else had. I mean, this is kind of an in-depth question. How balanced is PvP? Asking about heavy builds versus light builds, and long range versus close range, and like if all those factors feel good. I mean, I think they do. I don't really have any complaints with the balance of the game.
I think they did. It's impossible to tell after playing a single session.
Yeah,
we basically have 4 hours.
It's hard to say.
However, I do want to say that system-wise, they did a really good job at doing a good balance between melee and guns, because guns have to go, like I was talking earlier, they have to go through the shield. They have to deplete a shield first before they do real damage. While melee is rewarded for obviously having to be point blank at someone and like actually doing melee by being able to stagger people and also bypass the shield entirely. You not only attack the mech directly, but you also deplete the shield each hit with melee. And I think that was a very clever way of balancing melee versus range.
Yeah. True.
And
also,
obviously, like,
lag.
Yeah, obviously there is like counterplay too. Like, I also like the way that they balance melee versus melee, because you have the clash mechanic, you have the parries, you have all of that.
Yeah.
So I think the systems for a balanced game are there.
Yeah, for sure. It felt really good, and like you said, just having a single play session, with limited info too that we had, we weren't able to like meta game anything
on an outdated build too.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah, true.
So like we couldn't. There was no. If there was something unbalanced, we just didn't have the time or the knowledge to exploit it. So, it's probably not perfectly balanced, but what we played, it felt good. Like we all had fun, right?
They seem to know what they're doing, honestly. And you know, we gotta say this is definitely not the Snowbreak team doing this. Maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. But
I'm not entirely familiar, but
yes, multiple strikers can be in the same team.
Yeah.
All right.
Or at least
I need
they
to go
could
now
be in
for
the
real.
match.
Okay.
So, you have a good night, man.
Oh yeah. Also, yeah, that's a very good thing you mentioned. We were playing a custom match, so maybe that rule of being able to pick whatever you want won't apply on like other game modes. But keep that in mind. Everything we experienced was a custom match. It wasn't the actual like main queue or whatever. So I just keep that in mind. Also, again, it was a really old build apparently, because a lot of things changed from the promotional material to the version we played now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
that anybody asked that question directly either.
So somebody did. Yeah, they asked.
No, I mean, and asked during the playtest. I don't think anyone asked the developer directly.
Oh, how old the build was?
Yeah.
The last thing I'll say before leaving is that the game feels like an ode to the mecha genre. Like they're taking inspiration from a lot of sources. Like they have a lot of like variety, and like they want to keep they want to have good representation with the like cast of characters, the cast of the mechs, and it very much feels like down to the briefings. Like each time you load in, you are in the catapult.
So cool.
Yes.
With your boosters turned off all the way, like wired, while you're getting like a briefing. Your computer is always yelling at you that you're getting locked on from multiple directions. Like every time you eject, you will see your character physically pull the ejection thing from the cockpit, and then
so
like
cool.
The fly-in after you come out of the hangar.
Yeah. Every time you see the cockpit of your mech, you can literally see the status of your teammates inside the cockpit in a panel.
It's so cool.
So like, much attention to detail.
It very much feels like they want to make an ode to like the mecha genre, and it's very good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's good for sure.
It also has the best match end screen I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, that too. The match end screen is amazing. you get so many stats that are really useful to judge your performance, and you also get highlights in real time of what you did during the match.
Yeah, everyone gets their own play of the game. It's so good.
Cool. That's what I'm saying. This is a full burger, and it was only the alpha.
Whenever you die, you also get a stat screen of what weapons and from what mech and what player actually killed you, and how much damage they did to your health bar, in percentages and stuff like that. Like, you get so much info, and you can also like watch the kill cam from your perspective and the perspective of the enemy too. So you just get like, it's all the bells and whistles you will want from a competitive game.
And it was running so smoothly for that much feature.
Yeah, I had one crash, but otherwise everything was perfect.
Well, you say the gameplay is similar to Armored Core for Answer or Son of the Enders. It's not for Answer at all, and it's not Son of the Enders at all either. All the similarities are surface level.
It's definitely its own thing.
Yeah, it's for sure.
It's good though. It feels really good.
Yeah, it's very good. Celtic Spear's got to take off. So
Kel, you go to bed before we keep you here for the rest of the night.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Have a good one.
Yeah, see ya.
Night, man.
Yeah, big thanks to Celtic Spear for coming out. So we've got some more questions here. Pixie Pal wants to know if for the next playtest we're all gonna team up to make a God Squad.
I'm down.
I don't know how God that squad would be, because I would be on it, but
I'm also pretty consistently mediocre at video games, but
yeah, I like to think I'm good at video games because I was like 10 years ago. Now I'm like in my mid-30s and things are slowing down, so
don't count yourself out yet. This isn't very fast paced, so you can always have
Counter-Strike.
a little bit of foresight. And you know what? You can always play Lumen because
yeah, man.
Does not need a lot of
yeah, it's not high impact gameplay, so I'll just put my hots and dots on people and wait for my nervous system to catch up with me.
And you know what? Honestly, that's fine. I think that's totally fair for people who don't want to do too much of aiming and running around and whatever, and they just want to focus on support and have those dots.
Yeah, that's a good point. Especially like with Illuminate too, but also kind of with Narukami, right? Because you can, with a lot of Narukami's abilities, you can kind of pick your own pace of combat because you have the stealth and you're a sniper. So I feel like that's going to be good too. It's lower APM gameplay, I think, than something like the Welkin or the Panther would be. Let's see. Somebody else asked, how many war crimes are we allowed to commit? So as far as I know, we're allowed to commit all of them, but I didn't get any opportunities to commit any. I don't know about you guys.
Remember, there were little tanks and turrets in the game.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
there were AI in there.
Yeah, there was AI turrets that protected the capture nodes.
Yeah, you can war crime the AI.
Yeah,
beaming a Falcon out of the sky with Inferno feels like a war crime.
Yeah, those turrets were annoying as shit for me though when I was playing Illuminate, because I tried to side cap a node while I had a chance to, and then I got interrupted and I was like, what the fuck? And it was that little turret that had pinged me, but I couldn't just nuke it. I had to put a dot on it and wait for it to tick down.
Right.
Yeah, true.
And I was like, man, this I was trying to be like sneaky and ninja this thing, and it just like totally fell apart.
I didn't even notice the turrets until Kelt mentioned it, because I was always playing like a beefier, relatively slower mech. So every time I would get to where one of them was, they would already be destroyed.
You know what's interesting? I think there's only specifically there to counter the initial mobility that you get from a lot of the faster mechs, and allow the heavier mechs to arrive on the first fight. because those little guys, little fuckers, actually do a little bit of damage. Like they will chip your shield if you let them keep shooting you.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another point about the attention to detail that they put in, because that's a good point, because like, I mean, if you just like, as soon as one of the side nodes was about to open up, you could just like Falcon flight mode and zip over there and cap it before anyone could respawn, if it wasn't for the defense turrets.
Yeah. Oh, Jacoby, estimated release window, we have no idea. They didn't say anything. Hopefully soon. It does seem really good quality, but yeah, we don't know. Hopefully soon though.
Yeah, hopefully soon. It feels to me like all of the dev work they've done has been based around PvP. So I imagine they still have a whole PvE like campaign and everything left to develop. In one of the trailers, the gameplay trailer, it said it was the early gameplay for the tutorial in the description of it.
Yeah.
And so like,
I saw that.
Yeah, I feel like if they're just now kind of developing the tutorial for PvE, they've got a lot more dev work to do. But we don't really have any idea about that timeline or what that looks like.
True. When Gundam Evolution first like beta, it took them like almost half a year to like release. So this could be a long way out.
Remember, this is an alpha too, not a beta. So
that is also true.
Yeah, so
it's so polished though for alpha.
Yeah,
I know, right? It's like it runs really well. It looks really good, and it plays really good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. Because I
throw it out at me, and I would probably pay them $30 to $50.
I would definitely I would pay $60 for this. Like if you give me all of the units in the beginning and not like lock them behind some bullshit. I would 100%
pay full price, dude.
Yeah.
I did this. I did this test coming right off the heels of the closed test for PAX Day, which was an alpha test, and that game was so buggy that I was like, kind of like rubbing my head going into the Mecha BREAK one, because I was like, man, I don't know if I have the heart to test another game in alpha. No. But it was so good. Like it really was good.
I mean, I'm a big Star Citizen fan at the moment, and that's also an alpha. And
wait, is that say still an alpha?
For 10 it will be 10 for the rest of my natural life, I am sure.
Yeah.
But
it's been like 10 years.
It has been, and they're almost to beta, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe. But yeah, that game is a lot less polished than Mecha BREAK was.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks really good too. Like I should clarify that all the footage that we've been seeing, like any of like the gameplay of the mechs fighting, that's not like pre-rendered. The game actually looks like that.
Yeah.
Like I know it's like a really common thing to fake that, but like it actually looks like that.
Yeah, it's good. $60 good. I mean, that's like a personal thing.
Is that a hard sell?
Okay. Yeah, I don't buy full price games ever personally. I bought Baldur's Gate 3. I bought Armored Core 6 pre-release, but then Bandai gifted me a copy, so I was able to return that. But like, that's the only reason I bought Baldur's Gate 3, because like I'm not a guy who drops like $200 on new games every year. So I don't know if I would personally pay $60 for it, but it is a good game. Like especially if you enjoy PvP, like you would get your money's worth out of that, I think. So
yeah, I personally prefer a full price game to anything free to play-ish, just because usually unlocks are tied to monetization in free to play titles, which makes me unhappy frequently. However, if you pay $60 for a game, usually the developer makes enough money just to give you all the stuff.
Yeah,
I say that. That's not true anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was true. That was true when I started playing video games, but
it depends on how the free to play is monetized. Because like, if in some ways it's nice because you get to essentially free trial of the game, and then if you can basically get to a place where the game is like playable and comfortable and like not inconvenient, or and also get some cool stuff, and it's not pay to win, and it costs me $60 or less to get to that point, then I'm happy, because I got a free trial up to that point and basically paid box price for a game. But it's when you can't do that, where like you end up on like a hamster wheel of spending money, that's not very fun. But
I certainly hope that they do just a single buy to play model, but I feel like it's probably gonna be free to play. Because
and
I don't know. I mean, selling a team shooter to somebody for a full price is really challenging.
That is
and
true.
especially a mecha team shooter, because those are two relatively niche genres. So I think if it costs money, it would be challenging to sell.
Yeah.
And again, this is all speculation. They didn't give us any actual concrete information about it. Just speculating. But
no, I would agree. I think perhaps the best way, unfortunately, is to free to play this, just to get more people in. This is a really good game, and people wouldn't try this game if it's 60.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people that wouldn't, but like, and I've had people in the comments on my videos that are, they are mostly at my channel for the Armored Core content, and they looked at it and they're either like on the fence depending on the pricing, or they're like, no way. But even like the no way people, if it was free to play and they had other people in the mecha community trying it out and raving about it, they might decide to give it a try, because of the lower barrier to entry. So
yeah.
Jacoby asked about the color customization. There was a video of it. I tried to pull it up earlier to answer someone else's question about that, but for some reason I couldn't mute my desktop sounds and it was loud as fuck. So I didn't show it, but I can show you where to find it real quick if you're looking at the screen. You have to kind of scroll down on this home page, and then you'll see these banners on the side. And whoops, I scrolled up. But you can click on, I think it's this one is the paint one. I'll click on it real quick, but it's going to be loud. Okay, there wasn't music, but yeah. So you can look at the demo of it here. We didn't get access to any of this as far as I know.
Yeah. No, I didn't see any ability to do that. There was a customization screen, but there wasn't anything unlocked in it when we were back.
Yeah. So it does look pretty detailed. So if you really like dressing up your Barbie doll, then you'll have a lot of fun doing that, I'm sure. I typically don't do that. I don't disparage anyone who does, because dude, I've seen, especially when Armored Core 6 came out, some sick ass like paint and decal jobs that like I wish I had the patience for that. I just am not a person who does.
Yeah, I did a lot of like Gundam builds. It was great. I love the decaling stuff in AC6, and it was an artist's paradise. Artisan? Artist. Artisan paradise. But unfortunately, it didn't play as cool in multiplayer as I thought it was gonna be. So, like, all the fun of building something can only really be used in single player, because like when you bust out the cool looking ones in multiplayer, they just get slapped down.
Yeah, it's true.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah. The somebody asked about the date for the alpha. It is the 17th, I believe.
21st.
I think that's the end of registrations is
17th. Oh, okay. Okay. And then so registration end is 17th. Alpha starts the 21st and goes till the 24th.
So little time. I think it's also starting at 7 or something like that. At night.
Yeah.
Which is, you know what? So. Fair enough. Gets me enough time to come back home.
Yeah.
From work.
How long ago did we play the early access? It was, I don't remember the exact day, but it was
short.
Yeah, it was, I don't know.
Yeah, like a week or two?
2 weeks at most. It was pretty recent, but the build that we played was outdated compared to what we have evidence of now. So
yeah, they definitely have made a bunch of changes.
Yeah, so that's why I'm so amazed that Celtic Spear was able to remember so much of the stuff, because like
the dude's a gigabrain. He played himself down on his own show. He was the person who discovered a lot of the netcode bugs with 4th gen and documented them for the first time.
Yeah,
he's a very helpful community member.
Yeah,
does not like to brag.
Definitely 5-head stuff. So
he also played a lot of it like I did, so he definitely tried to do as much like testing as he could on the other units.
MCX says they wish there was full part customization like Armored Core, and
yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be cool, but like that's just a totally different game, because it introduces it's just a different game, right? Like this game is designed around roles and team-based balance.
I wouldn't want that.
And like it would just be a different game if that was in it. So I do love that stuff like that. Like the mecha fantasy in my heart is that like old school Armored Core fantasy that I grew up with, but like that's not this game, and that's fine because this game is fun. Like it doesn't need that to be fun, you know.
You know what I think this is? It's gonna be like a fun, like get your buddies together, 1 to 3 games a night kind of game.
That's gonna be hopefully I can really get the boys on it, man. I hope it doesn't suffer from the mecha curse, which is any game with giant robots also does not have players.
Hey, what's up, Above Average Gaming? Nice to have you in here.
Yeah, how's it going, my man?
Just talking about this new mecha game. I don't know if you've seen anything on it yet, but it is pretty fun. And yeah, like Axel was saying, I think it's gonna be a great multiplayer game. Like if I buy this game or play it or whatever, I'm not gonna be getting it for the reasons I got Armored Core 6. Like I got Armored Core 6 because I'm invested in the lore of the world and the storytelling and the fantasy that it gives me of being a mercenary and having to build and maintain my tool for the job and all that stuff. And like this game doesn't deliver on any of that, but it doesn't promise any of that either. So it's just totally different. So yeah, Above Average says he'll give it a shot if they're not going to be grabbing all its money. Yeah, that's how I feel about it too, man. It's really fun. Yeah. But like I'm not going to give money to something that is predatory.
I'm going to be honest with you. I might, even if it is just because look, I really just want a good PvP mech game.
That's
if
true.
If that's what it takes.
If that's what it takes. Selling your soul? Sure, why not?
That's what it takes, man.
Yeah, I mean it is what it I mean there's probably a universe in which I would, even if the monetization was horrible, but that would be a world in which people were watching it and like I was making enough money from viewership to subsidize my spending on the game. But I don't see that as being practical.
I hope it breaks all of our expectations and becomes the next Twitch darling and mechs become cool again.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
Most of the time, mecha is pretty niche, but I think this game has a lot of watchability, which is really important.
Yeah.
If you have a game like, let's say, freaking Overwatch, watchability is not very good because there's not really that much exciting things going on.
I don't know what is going on in that game at any given time because it's just colors.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of you need a lot of meta knowledge to know how to like play that kind of game. Whereas like something like Counter-Strike or even a lot of fighting games, you're like, oh yeah, that guy just got headshotted. He's dead. Oh man, that's like a lead. Or like, oh, that guy just got like Hadokened up to space. That's a lead, you know? And this game is really simple to read. You like if something happens, you're like, oh shit, that just happened. The game is now swinging to another like player's advantage, and it's really watchable actually. And there's probably going to be a replay system too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very low barrier to entry as far as like understanding like generally what's going on if you're watching, but like there's a lot of room for like skill expression too, and like watchability for people that like get into it hardcore, and things like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's readable. It's gonna be good. I hope all the VTubers play it. The like the VShojo and the Hololive people. I hope they play this.
Oh yeah, that'll be. That's our best bet.
That's our, yeah. Put it in the palm of the Hololive people.
Get the VTubers to touch it.
That would be. I mean, yeah, I'd love to see the game do well. It'd be really fun because I mean, I really like PvP games. I'm not super great at them. Like I'm usually like in mid ranks when I play, unless it's League, and then like I quit by the time I got to bronze because it was so toxic.
Yeah,
but
that's a good choice.
But I really like watching. Like the reason I don't do super well at them is mostly a mechanical thing. Like I can understand the game at a high level and not implement it right, but I really like watching high level PvP because I can understand what's going on and appreciate it at that level. And so I think you could get a lot of viewership from people due to that as well. Especially like if they just played the PvE campaign, and you know they're just not
the battle royale, baby.
Dude, battle royale is gonna be so sick.
I don't know how they're gonna do it. I honestly have like no clue. Not a single idea in my brain how they would be able to do it.
I also I don't. What?
That's gonna be crazy.
I don't know. How
is it gonna work? Like, it doesn't feel like any of the. I mean, is everyone gonna just be a listeners, or
dude,
like what is gonna? How are they gonna do that?
I don't really know, but I just had an idea that would be super sick. Like, what if in the trailer how there was that big like raid boss mech?
Yeah.
Like, what if that is in the BR and it spawns kind of like Baron Nashor in League?
Yeah,
League.
And like you get points if you like smite it.
That would be sick. So it would be like less like a zone sort of enclosing one. It would be more like have you seen My Hero Academia?
No, I haven't. No, I'm aware of it.
There's a first arc. They have
I gotta be back in just 1 second. I'm sorry. Yep. I really have to be back.
Okay, no problem. They had a big arena full of giant robots, right? And all these like beginner superheroes had to go and destroy the robot for like points and stuff like that. And at the end, it was like a huge battle royale essentially because it was a free for all on who can get the robots first.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that would be sick. Yeah, I don't know how they would reward that in the point structure, or what, or if it would just be like a BR, like a death match or whatever. Like, who knows? But they could do a lot of crazy things with it. Zero Calamity wants to know if we think Tricera's anti-air capability against Falcon is decent.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, Tricera cannot keep up with Falcon, like to run it down and kill it, but I also don't think Tricera is an easy kill for Falcon either. So, yeah, I mean, it just seems fine to me.
I did notice in the new videos, there are drones, and I don't think they were there before.
Hey, have a good night, Above Average. Thanks for stopping by. I'll let Inbay know you said later. Drones on Let's see if I can pull. Was it in the first trailer or the second one?
No. It was in the gameplay training room video for Tricera when it locked down.
Oh yeah, it was like anti-missile drones when you go into the turret.
Yes, that one.
Was it?
I don't think that was there before.
Right here, yeah.
Hey, do you remember if Tricera had anti-missile drones?
Yeah, I have it pulled up on the stream right now.
Anti-missile drones. I don't remember those.
Really? In the test?
I feel like that's new, but I didn't play very much Tricera. I only played 1 or 2 matches.
I don't particularly remember it, but it's definitely, you can see it in this video. It's like right when it goes into the turret mode.
Yeah.
And you can see it's Falcon, so that's a good telegraph that it's probably shooting missiles.
Well, yeah, it's popping them right there.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like Falcon's shooting missiles while it's not in its flight mode. That's interesting.
You could do that. There's
You could? I thought. Oh,
yeah,
it's just you had the big missiles in the flight mode.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yeah, I only played 1 or 2 matches of Falcon too because it was bad.
That's crazy. So, and it looked like it got all of them. It didn't miss any of the missiles. Now, I'm wondering if there's an ammo or something over here that says how many it can shoot down.
Yes. On the top right, it should be like
40.
a counter.
Yeah, 31 out of 40. And they reload too. Holy shit. Yes. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, holy shit, they're adding so many things to counter Falcon.
Yeah, there's
what is going on?
Yeah, there's no way that Falcon's going to kill Tricera. That doesn't mean that, Tricera counters Falcon, because I don't think Tricera could kill Falcon either if the Falcon was played properly, but just because it's too slow, but it is what it is. Let's see, poor Falcon. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Above Average said good night, nerd.
Yeah, I sent him a DM on Discord. He's where
let's
buddies
see.
We know each other from a minute ago.
Let's see some of these other questions. Is aerial mobility important for mechs that aren't Falcon? I would say for the Aquila, yes, and I would say for everyone, generally yes to an extent, because you're going to be competing with other aerial mechs, but also on the Conquest map that had the pit below the central node, you could definitely use aerial mobility. And it was kind of necessary because if you, there was a time when I had Tricera and I missed getting on one of those mobile platforms that took you over to one of the side nodes, and I fell into that pit, and I barely had enough energy to boost up out of there. So
you definitely need to fly with everybody, and they can fly.
Yeah,
you also have jump pads if you really need them to boost you up.
They help on Tricera a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Because there was another question about how high we can fly, and I don't really know how to explain that without, we don't have a vocabulary for describing that, I don't think. But high enough. I
didn't hit a height limit at any point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can cap out on your energy, and that's how high you can go.
Yeah, I guess I never tried to fly straight up, so I don't know if there's an invisible ceiling, but I never felt restricted by it.
Yeah, the only time I just tried to go as high as I could was when I was on the Tricera and stuck in that pit. So, we have no details about single player or PvE modes yet. We had a small single player tutorial, but it was not scripted or dialogued at all. It was basically we just spawned in an arena with a bunch of dummy AIs that just stood there and let us beat up on them, if I remember right.
Yeah, and from that new video they posted recently, the alpha sign up one, it said that the stuff they posted was from the new tutorial, and that looked like cutscenes and stuff.
Looks sick.
Yeah. I think the tutorial we played was probably entirely placeholder.
Yeah, it was. I think it was basically just their danger room for testing stuff. It wasn't anything game like part of the gameplay.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. I think we've answered all of the questions in this document, and Celtic Spear had his document, but he was in the chat, so he was answering a lot of those. Yeah. So one of the things that I want to stress, and I should have said this at the freaking beginning of the video, because who the hell is going to watch it this long? But there is going to be PvE, people. Stop coming into my comments and saying trash game, PvP only. Like, look, just watch the trailers, actually watch my video before you comment. Like, there's PvE. We don't know what it looks like yet, but it's gonna be there. So
yeah.
Well, obviously, since you didn't get to try it, it's not real.
Yeah.
Internet.
I was.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was.
There's been a lot of very confident talk about this game from people that I know haven't played it, and it's kind of confusing to me.
Yeah, it's it's definitely like, look, this is an alpha. Like, take everything that we've said with a grain of salt, because we are not on the dev team. We haven't seen their design docs and know their plans for the game or anything. Like, all we can talk about is our experience and speculation. And so, like, just don't sell yourself short or this game short by like coming to just gut opinions about it, because there's still so much that they could do with it that we just don't know.
Yeah.
Also, man, people really don't like the fact that this is like an anime game. There's so many people who are like, "Oh, this is gritty enough. This is gritty enough. I want the dirt and the grind, baby."
Yeah, I mean, I sympathize with that, because that's my favorite mech fantasy. But it's like, if a game is fun, like, does it matter like what it looks like or anything like that? I mean, if a game's fun, it's fun.
That's true.
It's not a shit game because it doesn't appeal to your aesthetics. Like, if the game is fun, it's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really understood the gritty take of AC, because I haven't really ever been into the campaigns until like 6. So I was always like, sure. It looks like there's film grain on it, all right. I guess you could call that grit.
Yeah.
They just want their mechs to be a little muddy, a little dirty.
I think like
it's been
5th
playing
gen
is
the only gen.
Oh, that's true.
Really is like gritty.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
true.
this is a military film.
I'm talking about like Mech Warrior stuff.
Yeah.
People like
that.
Yeah,
like Mech Warrior.
Yeah.
Right. I forgot about those because they're not Armored Core.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah. That was my actually that was after Armored Core, because I played it when I was really young, but I really got into Mech Warrior for a while, because I really liked that
it's fun.
Militaristic fantasy where it's more grounded and real, right? So it's there's definitely
I don't know about
that,
man.
Well,
I don't know about Mech Warrior being more grounded. That's some it's like kind of goofy.
I mean,
do you know about the crab mech?
It's still fiction. Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic, but like, when there's like, you actually see other, boots on the ground soldiers, and like you see the whole cockpit, and like you're turning your legs and your torso independently of each other.
4 whole soldiers in the opening for Armored Core 4 Answer.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
4 of them. That's true.
Yeah. Maybe 5 even.
It says, Zero Calamity says Reddit hates this game right now. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it.
No, I have seen literally nothing about it.
Who's been saying that?
Yeah, what subreddit? Do they have a subreddit for this game, or is it in like some?
No, I don't think so.
Does it just sound like the generalized mecha sub? Because every time I try and post something there, they just shit all over me. And I'm like, okay.
I would pull it up to look, but I don't know. I don't know what account I'm logged in on.
It's what I call the mecha boomers. They only like the really old stuff, and they don't embrace anything new.
It was a Gundam sub.
Oh, the Gundam sub? Yeah, well, they're Gundam fans. They only
okay, well, yeah, true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw
the.
Is it not? This is Super Gundam, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
no, this is the protagonist isn't the right shade of red and blue.
This is.
Oh, I guess so. It's just blue.
I mean, this is a lot more Gundam than Armored Core is for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I don't even know about like the name change. Like there was a single piece of media about this game when it was called Code Break.
Code Break.
And it was like a 1-minute trailer. Like, what are people complaining about with a name change?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I literally talked to somebody who was in the test for Code Break, and the reason they changed the name is because that player suggested it and they thought it sounded better. Like, it's not some.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not some big. Yeah, it's not a big conspiracy or anything. It's just like the game was in a super early stage, and they found a name that tested better with consumers. So. Yeah.
I mean, putting the word mecha in the title definitely helps with searching for new mecha games.
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't have found it if it was called just Code Break, other than new mecha game on Google. Guy on YouTube, we have no information about the monetization.
Guy on...
Yeah,
wait, is that his actual name?
Yeah,
that is his actual name.
Guy on YouTube. Yeah. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, we're hoping for the best. And it really, the best thing you can do for the monetization outlook is to apply for the alpha test and fill out their survey and show them with actual data what kind of monetization you find acceptable in a video game. And
yeah, please fill out buy to play, please. Yeah. Please.
Yeah. So, and we don't know.
It's just a personal beg from me.
We don't know how closely they're going to use that data, but the only thing we can do as consumers is give them those data points to inform their decision. So,
yeah, definitely sign up. Please express to them that I don't want this to be a gotcha. I really hope it's not.
I really don't think so. I really don't think it's gonna be.
Even if it is, honestly, like I said, they probably got me.
Damn.
I would play Gundam Battle Operation 2, but that game doesn't work.
Don't do it. Don't. Oh, God, don't play that game. That game sucks.
I tried to, and I actually really like it, but their servers are too far away from Hawaii for me to find matches consistently.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, so I just like can't play it. But it's good for my wallet.
Robo Gamer 2 wants to know what the game modes were that well, he just says what they were. So the ones we played were 6 vs 6, Capture the Flag. It was kind of like neutral, like team neutral, where random flags could spawn, and you'd pick it up, and there was a communal like drop off point for the flag where you could get points. So you're kind of fighting over the same flag. And the other one was a pretty typical like conquest mode where there are 3 capture nodes at different places on the map, and you would try to take the nodes and defend them, and the longer you had it, the more points you would get. So
yeah, the interesting thing with the capture the flag mode was that it was actually a team deathmatch, technically speaking, but kills only gave 1 point and flag captures gave 15. And you got more points for standing within the cash out point for your flag. So
yeah,
it was kind of a unique thing. I haven't seen another game do it exactly.
Right. So it's technically a capture the flag mode, but if you are able to deny any flags, then it's a death match. So if you're really good at killing anyone who goes for a flag, you might win just by kills.
Yeah. That would probably take a long time, though.
Yeah, I didn't. The matches we played didn't have a timer on them. It was to a point total, and there was no. I don't think there was a match timer where we could have gone to a draw. At least not that I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
There probably will be in the actual thing though, because a lot of people just want to hop. They've got 15 minutes to play, so they want to try and get a match or 2 in before they go to school or whatever.
Yeah. Rick Nilla's reclines. Cannot tell which way you're supposed to pronounce that. There is not a beta test currently running. There was an early test that we tried, and there will be an alpha test running soon. If you would like to sign up for it, the link is on the Steam store page for the Mecha BREAK thing. I'll also just give the sign up link here.
Yeah, if you could put that in chat. It will be in the description.
Put that in chat right now.
Yeah, and
I don't know if YouTube just ate that, actually. Did you see me post anything?
I didn't see you post, no.
Okay, yeah. YouTube just ate that. I'll DM it to you and you can post it.
Okay. But you can also find it in the description as well with all the official promotional content from their website, and then links to everyone's videos who is on the call today.
Yeah.
Hey, they want a large variety of system specs. Yeah, don't get discouraged if you have like low system specs, because I'll probably want to test that.
Yeah, they definitely want to be able to test that.
Gambit and Destiny 2. No, this is not like Gambit and Destiny 2. Gambit sucks. This game's fun.
Yeah.
Simple as. Do not put any thought of Gambit out of your mind. It is nothing like that. Gambit really, people don't hate Gambit because it's different. They hate Gambit because it's Gambit. People liked Gambit when it first came out.
Let's see. Does this game? Sorry, this is from Celtic Spears questions. I haven't played Gundam Versus, but this question is asking if it's more like Armored Core or more like Gundam Versus. And Celtic Spears thinks it's more like Armored Core, but it's not very much like Armored Core either. So
I think it's like got that like Overwatch or Gun Evil hero sort of balancing while having Armored Core like gameplay. So it's really kind of its own thing. It's not. I don't think there's that many games out there that sort of had the system. The closest thing I could probably say, probably Titanfall 2 in terms of like, the whole mech loadouts and the whole like.
I think it's like what you imagined Gundam Evolution would be, basically, before you saw any gameplay of it.
Sad.
That's how I would describe it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to say about it.
I'm sorry if that just crushed your soul.
Yeah. Even the menu reminds me of her.
I'm so sorry.
I got this question a lot in my comments, and it looks like Celtic Spear did too. I don't know if you guys did, but I had a lot of people like mad that there was no 1v1 mode. So
come on, get off it. Get out of here.
That's gonna disappear as soon as people actually touch the game and be like, oh, I see why.
Yeah, and so
there's a custom match, so you can 1v1 people in a custom match. Fucking
true.
Cry about it there.
Go do your Panther 1v1s.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that 1v1 will not appear in this game at all. So yeah, don't freak out about that. And the other thing is, like, the game is not designed around that. So, like, kind of like what you were just alluding to, it's like, if you, like, really wanted to 1v1, it probably wouldn't feel that good, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as people play the game, they're going to be like, oh, okay. It's like asking why there's no 1v1 mode in Overwatch or
and
Team Fortress 2.
I think a lot of those people are just upset that Armored Core 6 1v1 isn't what they wanted, and like wanted an escape from that into another 1v1 mode. But
I mean,
me too. That's fair. But that's what Armored Core 4 answer exists for.
Like I actually see a lot of people, defending Armored Core PvP. I did a video like kind of critiquing it, and there's some people who really like that stuff apparently. Well, I mean, good for them, but I don't think they're even playing now, because I know that Armored Core PvP play count is like hugely down.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine if it appeals to somebody. I mean, that's great.
Okay. I don't think it's like objectively awful. It just doesn't have that sauce that the previous games had that like lets you like you can't do what you want how you want. You have to do what you want within the confines of Armored Core 6's mechanics. You can't like build your own play style or out of like your own funky like chain boost pattern, or like you can't like wall kick off a specific scenario and like a specific way on a map to get a weird angle. You just have to assault boost and yeah.
Couldn't we say that for this game as well?
Yeah, but I think in this game it's a little bit different because it's not named Armored Core and you don't build your own mech. Like your mechs are like designed for a purpose, so it feels a little bit less weird to have them only do a couple specific things. Yeah. I mean, it the way I would analogize it between like Armored Core and this game is in Armored Core you are the entire team. Like you build your AC to be the whole team. In this game, each function of your AC is split off into the rest of your team. So you would get a mech that does one thing and then one thing really well, and the rest of your team fill the roles that an AC would normally have the abilities to do all on its own. Because like an AC is like a hyper robot, you know, like they're insanely OP.
Yeah, true.
Like when I first played it or like got to like look at and select the strikers, I was like, oh, so this is basically like picking a class in an RPG. Like like the I expected each one to have a specific play style, and that's kind of what it is. Like, so which is kind of cool because then you can, you know, if you get bored playing a certain way, then you swap to something else. But it's also cool because you don't, the onboarding is good, right? Because you don't have to do the work like you would in like Elden Ring to make your play style work.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like it's just it comes out of the box and it's working, so you play it, which is really nice. I know some people like really like the like crunchy, build stuff, and I do too in some games. But like
I love it, but it's not for every game.
Yeah, it's not for every game. Like if they did that with this game, it would end up being so unbalanced. It would be it would be pretty crazy. Let's see. So I've heard a lot of people talk about this. I've never played a Gundam game, so I have no idea what a funnel is. But a lot of people are talking about funnels.
They're let me see if I can find a YouTube clip because they're really cool. I have a GIF.
Based drones. So they're essentially controlled by your psychic powers, and they fly around as little drones in space.
Just put this GIF up on stream.
Yeah,
those are funnels.
Okay, and they're mind controlled.
Yeah,
most of the time they are.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it's basically just a drone. It was like, I heard it and I was like,
they're specifically laser drones though, usually.
Yeah. Okay. So I was like, that funnel. Like, what are you trying to pour?
Yeah. That specific imagery of like a million mind-controlled drones chopping up a Gundam is like the core imagery of the funnel. Like.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we don't have anything quite like that, right? I mean, there are the drones, but
is insane.
But yeah, like there's no like ult ability where you just like summon a shitload of drones and they. Like, if that's your fantasy, you're not necessarily going to get that.
The one sniper, the
Narukami,
name is slipping my mind. Not Narukami, the other one.
Aquila.
Yeah, Aquila kind of has them. Like, its stun drones kind of act like funnels, but they don't. They don't do the Gundam funnel thing.
Yeah.
They certainly do not.
I think the Gundam funnel thing is pretty hard to implement without
being OP, like it is
ruining
in GBO2.
Ruining the whole game. Slightly? Yeah. Well,
yeah.
hey, it's not OP in GBO2. Just buy an anti-psychom suit, bro. What are you doing?
Okay. Well, yeah, let me just pull the Moon Gundam real quick.
Yeah, the easy peasy.
Yep.
For anyone who's not aware, Gundam Battle Operation 2 hurts your soul. Don't play it. Oh.
All right.
Yeah. Big Turkey says they're also controlled by AI sometimes.
AI. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was just a simple miscommunication, I guess. I just didn't know the term, but yeah, I mean, there are drones, so I don't know if that does it for you.
Is your funnels
why
kick
they're
was
called
Lumine?
funnels?
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know either.
I've watched some
I don't know if
Gundam,
anybody knows.
but I've not ever seen that. So.
Oh, because it looked like funnels in the okay, so this is the lore, all right? I remember now. So
They literally.
back in
yeah, I guess they
double 79, I think that's the original Gundam, right? The first use of funnels is from Lala Soon, and she had these funnels that literally look like funnels shoot lasers, and she was controlling them with her mind that went around and shot people. I think Tomino was just like, we put an English name on it. Go funnels. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe that's the lore. Maybe I'm bullshitting. But they did look like funnels in the very beginning, and they continued to do so until Char's counterattack.
I see.
Okay. Well, I think I want to end this stream here in about 5 minutes. But there's so much more we can talk about. It's not going to be hard to fill 5 more minutes. I've just gotta go pretty soon. But
no problem.
I do have a question. Oh shit! I was just looking at it. Oh yeah, about the combo potential for the game. Ooh. So like how well you can like string your abilities together to like just pwn somebody, I guess. Is it creative like Gundam Extreme? I didn't play that game.
I also did not play that game.
So Gundam Extreme, what they're referring to is a arcade third-person action game, kind of like what we saw, in Mecha BREAK, but it's way more fast-paced and it has a lot of combos like a typical fighting game. It's like Japan's best fucking Gundam game, and they just won't let us have it in the West. I don't know why. They don't want to let us have it. They don't want to let Hong Kong have it. Don't want anyone to have it except for Japan. I don't know why, but it is what it is, and it's really fun.
I would like it, please.
It's if you look at some footage of it, it's extremely fast. It's 2v2, and there's a lot of abilities tied to a single Gundam, and it's essentially like this game, except every mecha has like 13 more moves. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's pretty cool. It's really cool. Again, I don't know why they don't let us have it.
So yeah, you can see if you're looking on the screen that you can like combo. I think those are all main hand weapon attacks, but there are like melee combos. But I don't have any clips of like comboing together your different abilities in like a rotation or whatever. But that kind of stuff is definitely possible because I think someone was talking earlier about how they just got owned by one of the devs playing Panther who was doing that.
Yeah, that was me. A couple of quick answers to questions pop in chat. Calm Calum. We don't know what the main mode will be. We did not try the Battle Royale mode, so probably not
I'm
that
so
though.
Hyped.
Zero Calamity. Anybody who's caught inside Welkin's box when it goes off is trapped inside the box until the box is either broken or it expires.
Yes, you can shoot it.
Yeah, you can shoot it.
I wouldn't.
But yeah, we don't know what the main mode is going to be.
I would shoot the Welkin rather than the box personally.
I would
if you're trapped
scream
inside.
and cry.
If
you're in a situation where you are a Falcon and you are trapped in the Welkin box, you are dead.
Yeah.
Unless again your teammates shoot it for you, because they could do that. A lot of
yeah, that's true.
If you
like, oh man,
if you get in a Welkin box,
dead.
if you're in a welcome box and he does this, it's over for you.
It's over.
Yeah.
It just spin to win at that point.
The spin move is so good. I love
it. There was somebody in the Discord, the main Mecha Discord, was like theory crafting, and they were like, okay, we stack the Welkin shield and the Narukumi shield, and we put the Tricera inside the Welkin shield. It's literally unkillable at that point. You can't, you just can't approach it.
That sounds so funny. No, you approach somebody with all 4 mags and then just drop the boxes on them, and they become invisible from their entire external team and trapped.
And bonus shield from the Welkin. Oh my god,
that'd be so funny.
Yeah.
But fun stuff is like that's gonna happen. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super excited for the next test. So unfortunately, we don't know how many people are going to get into the test. And
are we even guaranteed to get into the next test? I
don't know, man. I don't know.
They haven't given clear answers to a lot of things. I think as a mod
I am.
Yeah.
I say.
Use your mod powers to invite me if I don't get in.
Okay. I think most of the early testers they'll try to give.
I can't imagine that we would be invited personally by email for the first test and then not make it into the second public test.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Hey, which one of you leaked some content about monetization, huh? Which one of you spilled the beans?
Yeah.
With the currency counting.
I mean, it would be fine if I don't expect to get into the test is kind of where I'm at. I mean, I'm just
I just want to play more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
true.
I would want to, and like I would like to be able to make content on it too. Not just for my own channel, because like my channel's not that big, so it doesn't really matter that much to me, but for the game, like to make the game bigger, you know? So like that's mostly why I want in. I also really want to play it, but so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's for personal reasons.
Yeah. RoboGamer says we've all been individually invited, received an email, and it looked very individually messaged. Invited to the test because I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I don't have an email like that either. So maybe you're the lucky gamer.
Yeah, maybe.
Whoa. Exclusive club.
You'll have to we'll have to get you set up with a YouTube channel. So yeah, I don't know about any of that testing stuff. I really hope to be in it. I hope to see everyone who's been in chat and with me on the call in it. That would be super fun for us to be able to do that. But looking at the numbers, I mean, if this pre-registration number, like if all those people signed up for the alpha, then there's probably going to be a good number of people who don't make it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But anyway, we just have to hope, and hopefully the embargo period with the NDA doesn't last too long, and we can do more content when that all comes out. But until then, you'll just have to stay tuned to Inve and Axel and Celtic Spear and Yu Bunny, who wasn't able to make it, and all those people.
I think they fell.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah,
What's funny is Yu Bunny was like the person who I saw the Code Break trailer from originally.
Yeah. They had it like a year ago or something.
Yeah.
So yeah. So stay tuned to everyone's channels. I'll have, if not the channel linked in the description, it'll be to one of their videos, and you can, subscribe or do whatever you want to do there. And yeah, let's keep this community going strong, folks. I want to thank you two both for joining me on the call. It's great having you. Fun times.
Yeah, thanks for having us out, man.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, and hopefully we can do this again with the same people. Like, hopefully we're all in the test and we can do this again for the next test. But yeah, fingers crossed there. Anyway, until next time, guys.
All right, peace out.
See you.
Bye-bye.